70-57. We'll go into detail on how these teams play at home on the road. This is a neutral site. However, there is a lot of purple in the building. We're just an hour and 45 or so from the K-State campus in Manhattan, and the opening tip controlled by the Wildcats in their road purple.
And it goes without saying, key for K-State, they must take care of the basketball.
Eliza Maupin getting her second start of the season. She looks for a cutting Jalen Glenn, can't find her, and there's the first turnover and the first steal for West Virginia. This is a disruptive West Virginia defense. They are number 2 in Division I in steals per game. Sydney Shaw, good shooter. Jordan Harrison at the point. We've talked about Quinterly. Kyle Watson, outstanding defender. And a whistle goes against West Virginia.
And Eric, I think the key for West Virginia is not that they turn teams over. They convert, averaging 29 points a game off of those opponents' miscues. Big part of their offense.
Kylie Blackston gets called for the foul, and she will head to the bench immediately, 40 seconds into the game. And Kyle Watson, beg your pardon, Jordan Thomas will come in, freshman from Carrollton, Texas, in the post.
And so, Eric, that quick substitution by K-State to counter Thomas tells me that Jeff Meany's plan is to match up according to the bigs of the Mountaineers today.
So you saw Maupin in the starting 5, but now Kennedy Taylor is out there for Kansas State with Walker, Glenn, Sundell, and Poindexter, and the first basket of the game goes to Kansas State. Taylor paying immediate dividends, checking into the game in the post. Here's Quinterly. She has been on a heater offensively. 34.5 points a game in the last 2 games of the regular season. Hits a 3.
Give her 35, come on. But she's shooting a whopping 64% from 3. That's what's impressive. She's been efficient in getting those 35 points.
All about accuracy. I'll round up when it's called for. I still think 34.5, pretty darn good. Sundell fed inside to Glenn, who flips it up for 2. Jalen Glenn had 11 points in the win against UCF in round 2 yesterday, averaging just under 10 points a game. I'll round it up to 10 points a game for Christie. Quinterly, oh, you cannot let her get open, and Sundell's going to get called for the foul, and Quinterly will shoot 3.
Well, we said from the opening moment, K-State must take care of the basketball. Against that full court pressure, no dribbling, just pass the ball to slice and dice, and then J.J. Quinterly on the other end. 2 times now, short closeouts or miscommunication by K-State have led to scoring opportunities for Quinterly.
So Quinterly on the floor here in Kansas City. West Virginia making their debut on the court. Mark Kellogg was talking about it this week about, okay, you get that number 4 seed, you'd rather have the double bye, but there's a little adjustment period. Shooting in a different building, shooting on this court. Quinterly hasn't shown any need for adjustment so far.
She's a veteran.
Settles for 2 out of 3 at the free throw line.
And Eric, as much as we're going to talk about K-State's offense, there's pressure on their defense here this afternoon, because if they can get stops, they don't have to go against the full court pressure, and they can go against player-to-player defense usually, because what the Mountaineers like to do is fall back in that 2-3 matchup.
Great ball movement. Poindexter, an outstanding 3-point shooter. 79th 3 she's made this season. That leads the team. She's at 40% efficiency. Jordan Harrison, junior from Oklahoma City, runs the point. Not afraid to take it to the basket, though, and she's on the board. Her first 2 averaging 13.5 a game. Good for second on the team. K-State looking at that West Virginia pressure. Thrown to the middle to Sundell. And now K-State will set it up, but they set it up with 17 on the shot clock. Sundell was hot in the second half yesterday. Can't make that one. Quinterly trying to track it down, and Taylor, good hustle play to knock it off of West Virginia, and it'll be K-State ball.
Well, Jordan Harrison is so good off the bounce, and I love the hesitation, and it just made Taylor pause for a moment. She got to the rim.
Jalen Glenn knocks down a 3. Good start for Glenn. She's got 5 out of the gates for K-State. 10-7 K-State. Taylor takes the contact. Foul called on West Virginia.
Jeff Mitty's decision to put Taylor in when Thomas pays off. Right there, gets the elbow, gets the call, and I believe the officials are going to the monitor.
You just mentioned the key body part, elbow. So the officials are going to go to the monitor to see if what that elbow was used for rises to an intentional foul. K-State on top by 3, opening minutes here on Quarterfinal Friday.
Previous fouls under review.
The Big 12 is proud to congratulate the following players in state champions who earned Big 12 season honors. From Kansas State, all Big 12 first team mention, Serena Sundell. All Big 12 second team mention, Naoto Lee. All Big 12 third team mention, Jalen Glenn. All Big 12 honorable mention, Tamira Poindexter. All Big 12 defensive team, Diana Walker. From West Virginia, Defensive Player of the Year, and all Big 12 first team mention, J.J. Quinterly. All Big 12 third team mention, Jordan Harrison. All Big 12 honorable mention, Kyle Watson. Big 12 offensive team.
Previous play stands as called.
Kyle Watson. Fans, let's check in with Jordan. Hey, Jordan, what do you have for us this morning?
Well, honestly, it's never too early for lunch. So we're going to talk about the Big 12 Eats and on the concourse presented by Undeniably Dairy. Hey, West Virginia fans, we have something good for you that you know. It's our Mountaineer Pepperoni Roll. Looks pretty good. Now let's go over our Wildcat fans. We have the Wildcat Steak Tacos. Come on over, take a look at that. The purple in there, it looks delicious. Again, the phone eats first, use the hashtag Big 12 Eats. Post with you. What you guys are eating for lunch, and it's delicious again. This is my Undeniably Dairy.
Fans, you can now access and download the official 2025 2026 Big 12 Women's Basketball Championship game program by scanning the QR code on the video board. You can also visit Big12Sports.com for more Women's Basketball Championship information. College basketball just got sweeter. Slam dunk your cravings with Crush Soda. Grab your favorite Crush flavor and cheer your team to victory. There's something for everyone with classic fruit flavors of orange, grape, strawberry, and peach. Crush Soda, an official partner of the Big 12. Experience the cradle fruity taste of Crush Soda, an official partner of the Big 12. Now let's check back in with Jordan.
All right, we're back in Kansas City. Here's what they were reviewing during the break to see if this was an intentional foul. And they determined no, it's just a common foul, so no upgrade against Jordan Thomas. It's her first personal.
But I'll go back to it. I think it was a brilliant move by Jeff Mitty and his coaching staff to match up accordingly.
Hang on a second. Did you see that we had mascots to get together and just...
I thought you were pointing to the beard because that's why you looked when you showed up in the lobby this morning.
I thought about going with my full Mountaineer look. I thought you'd be impressed by that, but I'm glad the mascots and everybody can get together. It's early here.
Well, Kansas City, we've been talking about love all week in Kansas City.
That's a good point. Terrence Sides into the game for K-State.
And Eric, the one advantage that K-State has is the size. Their perimeter players, except for Sides, all at least 4 to 5 inches taller than both Jordan as well as J.J. Quinterly. So something to see. I expect a lot more posting up of the perimeter players for K-State.
Jeff Mitty's team ranked 20th in the most recent AP Top 25 poll. There's Poindexter. She's got 5. So when Mitty brings in Terrence Sides, how do things change for Kansas State on both ends of the floor?
Well, what we've seen in the last couple of weeks is that Sides has run a little bit more of the point positioning, moving Sundell to the off-guard position.
Foul is going to be called as Quinterly and Shaw were in the corner, and who went down? It was Poindexter who's going to get called for the foul. It's going to be another 3 free throw trip here after Shaw got hit.
Well, the second time K-State's going to contest the 3 on the perimeter and gets called for the foul. And it's hard because we know West Virginia is at their best when they're knocking down some threes. So K-State's trying to get out there, unfortunately not closing out correctly.
So 3 free throws here for Sydney Shaw. Shaw's got the first. There you see Mark Kellogg. Second season at West Virginia. Previous 8 seasons before getting to Morgantown at Stephen F. Austin. 25 wins last season, 12 in the Big 12. They beat Princeton in the NCAA tournament, then lost to Iowa by 10. So it was a good year last year for Kellogg's team. It's been a good year this season for their team. Back-to-back wins heading into the Big 12 tournament. Last year, in this round, they lost to Kansas State 65-62. Aoka Lee had a double-double in that game. Quinterly had 27. No Lee here today again for K-State as she comes back from an injury.
And so far, K-State handling the full court pressure well by West Virginia.
Sundell backs in and puts it in for 2. Shaw out to Quinterly. Trying to get around Sundell. Good help by Taylor. Glenn trying to tie up, but muscled in and put in by Jordan Thomas and 1. The freshman with a strong play inside. Chance for a 3-point play.
Well, Serena Sundell doing what she does best, and that's backing down a defender and then kissing it off the glass. And on the other end, Jordan Thomas is just continues to elevate her play for the Mountaineers.
Thomas had 16 points and 8 rebounds, 5 on the offensive end in the regular season finale against Cincinnati. That was a win for the Mountaineers, 85-69. They dominated on the glass. Previous game, they beat Utah in Morgantown. That all came after losing in Fort Worth against TCU. Last touch by West Virginia. It'll stay K-State basketball.
And Eric, you just saw the speed of Jordan Harrison running Glenn down and trying to get in front of her.
Kansas State will go to the bench. Imani Lester, the sophomore from Raleigh, will come in. Had a career-high 8 points yesterday in 17 minutes. The victory over UCF by 15. Lester gets an early touch. Sundell defended now by Kaya Watson. Outstanding defender for West Virginia. Lester knocked away by Harrison. Steal for West Virginia, and Harrison tries to go coast to coast, cannot. K-State not afraid to push and run the other way with Sundell moving to the middle. She was fouled by Quinterly.
I know Quinterly didn't mean to commit that foul, but probably saved 2 points because Harrison was still in the backcourt. K-State had numbers there.
Tipped out by Kaya Watson. Teams have combined for 27 points in the first 5 minutes of this game. Gives you a little indication what we're in for here today to get things going on quarterfinal Friday. 2 more points for Poindexter. Served first taste of the Big 12 tournament. Played at Tulsa the last 3 seasons. The player of the year in the American last year. Been an impact player for K-State. Rolling to the basket. Now Watson on the drive.
Nice help side by Lester.
Kick to the open shooter in the corner. It's the best shooter for West Virginia, Sydney Shaw. 63rd made 3 this season for Shaw.
Well, Eric, you talked about Poindexter. She started off the game against West Virginia in Morgantown 3 of 3. Unfortunately for K-State, she finished the game 2 of 9 from that point on. Key for Poindexter to keep hunting her shots.
Poindexter rolls, gets the pass from sides, and she's having a great game here so far. 9 first quarter points for Tamira, averaging 12.5 points a game. And a little aggressive here, and that's what's going to cost her. She's going to head to the bench with 2 personal fouls.
Well, Poindexter can hit the 3, so defender flies at her, quick give and go, and I love that she stopped short because Thomas is coming on the rotation to contest, but she stopped short.
2 fouls, though, sends you to the bench. Now, Kansas State has a pretty strong bench. It has been put to work with Lee out, playing just 19 games so far this season. Again, we'll talk about it as we go along. They expect her back for the NCAA tournament, and she was working out pregame here today. We'll show you that in a little bit. Quinterly, soft touch, gets it to drop. 2 more for J.J. Quinterly. She's got 7.
Quinterly listed at 5'8". I think that's being generous. But because of her jumping ability, she plays much bigger.
Taylor inside for 2. And then Sides getting after it defensively, and a foul's going to be called on Jordan Harrison. Well, we mentioned Aoka Lee. This was pregame on the court. Again, what Jeff Mitty's been talking about from Kansas State is they are being conservative with her return to the court. They announced a week or so ago, that we're just going to wait for the NCAA tournament. They know they're in. Now, there is a little motivation, a lot of motivation, frankly, because right now, according to Charlie Cream, they're the 14th overall seed. And we know how important it is to be in that top 16 because you get to host the opening rounds on your home floor. And we know what Bramlage Coliseum means to K-State. But everything seems to look on track for Lee, but we're not going to see her here in Kansas City.
Well, Jeff Mitty told us last week the doctors cleared her to start workouts last week. He, being cautious, said, we're going to wait a week. And he's got it timed perfectly to truly make sure that she's ready to go for the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Well, especially when you think about it, Christy, when we wrap up this tournament Sunday, then it's a week off for K-State before Selection Sunday, and then several days after that, you begin playing the NCAA tournament, so that buys you some more time. Teams continue to shoot great. Sides tiptoeing on the sideline, kept it in play just barely. Glenn out of the scramble, that won't drop. Taylor doing a great job inside, and she was fouled. So here's what Charlie says for Kansas State. They've got a net of 9 right now, 4 seed, 14 overall. The Alabama lost to Florida in the SEC tournament, dropped Bama to 16. So that's one of those results that helps those teams fighting in that bottom 4, 15, 16, 13, 14. Those teams down there, all around that group. Tennessee losing to Vanderbilt as well was beneficial to teams like Kansas State.
I think there will continue to be a lot of movement from that 13 to 16. If you want to sleep well, you win.
Can you sleep well 13 to 16 this time of year?
No, unless you keep winning.
Well, today would be critical for a team like K-State taking on a West Virginia team that is 11th in the net. Taylor will head to the bench. Good work by Taylor. She's got 8 points. She's 3 of 3 from the field. And Taylor also has fueled this Kansas State shooting, Christy. 10 of 12 from the field. Harrison with the 2 personal fouls. So that's key for this West Virginia team. Walker, all defensive team selection in the Big 12. Quinterly with the travel, and Walker showing West Virginia that she can play a little defense, and her bench is fired up.
Well, I guarantee you, Jeff Mitty's loving this the most because he loves Walker's defensive tenacity. Times that block perfectly. Possession to K-State.
And that's going to be a turnover by Kansas State. That will be the 3rd Kansas State turnover. Jeff Mitty's team turned it over 21 times in Morgantown, Christie. That led to 27 West Virginia points. Taking care of the basketball is paramount. However, it was a dead ball turnover, not a live ball turnover, which makes all the difference against the West Virginia team.
Absolutely, and right now I'm impressed with how K-State is trying to break the press. They're sending people away so that West Virginia doesn't have the opportunity to jump, and by jump I mean go and double the ball.
Glenn continues the red-hot shooting for Kansas State. The Wildcats are 11 of 13 from the floor. That's 85% with under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. And the K-State fans get a little louder. Blacksten will quiet the partisan crowd. She knocks down a 3 for West Virginia. Both teams with 3 made threes. Sides, elite 3-point shooter.
You were saying how many?
Sydney Woodley into the game, and that's going to be a turnover for West Virginia.
Well, Eric, it is all about the threes right now. Blackston with a hand in her face knocks down the huge three for West Virginia. And Terrence Sides, I'm getting in on this three-point party.
Sides across half court. K-State once again gets away from the West Virginia pressure. Final minute of play here in the first quarter. High scoring quarter, both teams shooting lights out. West Virginia at 78%, but that does not top the K-State 86%.
West Virginia
Chance
sending a double.
To it, open three. Walker buries it. What an offensive performance by K-State in this first quarter. They are up by 10. Quinterly dishes to the corner. Open look, corner three, too strong. And that will do it for the first 10 minutes. Points off turnover so far, 12-0. And if I said points off turnovers are 12-0, you'd say West Virginia, and it's K-State with the edge in points off turnover so far.
This is the K-State team that we became accustomed to seeing throughout December, January, and most of February. Last couple of weeks, they look almost a little leg wearied. They had rest coming into this tournament, and it is showing here in Kansas City.
Woodley gets called for the foul, hitting Sundell out towards midcourt. Good balance, too, for K-State in that quarter. Glenn had 8. Taylor had 8. Poindexter had 9, but she did pick up 2 personal fouls. Quinterly with 9 to lead West Virginia. And a foul in the backcourt as Watson tried to take it away as it got tipped by West Virginia.
And Eric, we can talk all day long about how well K-State is shooting. The reason they're getting the shot opportunities, they're taking relatively great care of the basketball so far. Only 3 turnovers in the game.
Glenn kicks to the corner. Walker sets for 3. That one won't drop. Maupin tracks it down, and a second chance opportunity here for the Wildcats. Sundell. Walker tipped away, and a turnover by K-State. Here's Quinterly. Quinterly to Blackston. Great catch by Blackston, and the finish, and a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, West Virginia will get that defensive rebound and look to run. Blackston right down the pipeline. Great hands, good finish. Good call by the official as well.
Sides gets called for her first personal foul. So Kylie Blackston, the 5th year from Colorado Springs, can't finish off the 3-point play. And a rebound for K-State. Walker. And now Sundell will set things up. For Glenn. Sides. West Virginia trying to tighten up their half-court defense after K-State shot 87% in the first quarter. Doing well here. Walker's going to have to force one up to beat the shot clock, and it's all falling for K-State.
Blackston in, therefore Maupin in to defend her around the 3-point line.
Quinterly can't get it. Maupin with the box out on Blackston. And the rebound for K-State. Glenn will step up and launch a 3. No. Glenn gambled on the steal. Here's Woodley. The feed to Blackston. Couldn't handle that one after making the great catch earlier. And K-State will slow things down now. Up by 10.
Sides needs help.
As Glenn spins inside, won't drop. Maupin reaches in to keep it alive, and a second chance here for Glenn, who can't hit the 3. Pace has been pretty quick and frantic, and you can lose your legs pretty quickly in a game like this, can't you?
Absolutely, and the one player who never loses her legs
Will
is
not lose her
Quinterly.
legs, no.
When you need a bucket, you find JJ Quinterly because she's so good at creating. Walker hits her on that forearm. She's still strong enough in the air to hang on and get the shot off and get it to go.
Intensity level's been high, pace has been high. This is something that West Virginia is very familiar. It's the way they've played all season long. So you look at the scoreboard, and it feels like a team that has shot 70% would have something bigger than an 8-point lead. Quinterly can cut into it, but in some ways, West Virginia has to be telling themselves, look, we are built for a 40-minute game. We can keep this pace going.
Absolutely, and then you got to remember, K-State did play a game yesterday in which they struggled to truly put UCF away until that fourth quarter. So if I am Mark Kellogg, I am telling my team, stay the course. Be who we are, and let's see what happens in that fourth quarter. What will K-State have left?
Sides, that's another one that's well off the mark. So K-State showing some fatigue. You see Kellogg, yeah, right there to your point, Christy, like, you know, moving the hands, nodding, yeah, let's go. Like, I think they have to love where they are, even though they're down by 7, because K-State's now shooting 1 for 6 this quarter after they couldn't miss.
Well, and I'll say, I don't know that it's leg weary right now for K-State. It's been shot selection in this quarter.
Thomas inside, and Jeff Mitty doesn't like how this quarter has started for K-State, as West Virginia has brought it down to a 5-point game.
And West Virginia, there is no quit. They will share the ball. They're going
to come in game 2 of the day session in Greenville, South Carolina. So we'll keep you up to date on what's happening in the other conferences. And we've got eyes squarely on this matchup between Kansas State and West Virginia. K-State led by 10 at the end of 1 quarter. They come out of the timeout called by Jeff Mitty. Work it inside to Kennedy Taylor, and she's already into double figures with 10. "12 assists on 15 field goals for K-State, and a turnover by West Virginia. That's their 8th.
That's at least 4 points West Virginia's left on the court off a dribble penetration where the post player or weak side player hasn't been able to catch and score.
Poindexter back on the floor for K-State, playing with the 2 fouls. She played really well offensively in that first quarter. Walker, long pass to Sides, another entry pass, beautiful pass by Sides, and the finish by Taylor. Taylor, Christie, averaging 6.5 points a game, but K-State loves to attack the paint with her, and she's got 12. And then Sundell comes with the help in the block.
Well, it looks right now like the offense for K-State's fueling the defense. And it starts with great post positioning for the lob to Kennedy Taylor down low. And then off the skip pass, she does the work again and seals Thomas over and in. 4 straight points for K-State. And Eric, K-State going to the 2-3 matchup on the baseline out of bounds now.
Harrison with 3 on the shot clock, has to launch a deep 3. No. Offensive rebound. Last touch by West Virginia. Thomas had it for a moment, and then she didn't. K-State ball.
Kennedy Taylor's playing with so much energy right now. Got beat because she was on the outside on that pass, stayed with it, got the block.
That's 3 blocks for K-State. 2 on that trip, Sundell and Taylor.
And Eric, I'm enjoying watching the matchup with Kennedy Taylor and Thomas down low. Kennedy Taylor just doing so well right now, trying to get positioning down low.
Tipped out top. Sundell, Poindexter rolls to the basket. Couldn't get it, fighting for the rebound, and there goes the shot clock. It's gonna be a shot clock violation, and it'll be West Virginia basketball.
I think Jeff Mitty's arguing that the ball might have touched the rim at some point.
Started to argue, then some of his staff, I think, just gave him the signal, just, you know, hold on a second. But now we're going to hold on because Jesse Dickerson's at the monitor. I think he's going to go and see if there was contact here. Not there.
Just short of it.
Yeah. Now this should be a pretty quick review, and it'll be West Virginia basketball.
Honestly, with the pace, the way this game's been going, I don't think either coach is worried about a break in the action right now.
A monitor review?
Yes.
Normally, I would protest monitor reviews to stop the pace of play, but you're saying the coaches will sign off on this one? I got you. So it'll be West Virginia basketball. And I know we talked about it. We were at Fort Worth when West Virginia took on TCU a couple weeks ago. West Virginia is a different team at home. They are fueled by that home court advantage, and we joked a little at the top. A lot of purple in the building. It's not like you're playing in Manhattan, but it certainly is not a home game, or it doesn't feel very much like a neutral site game for West Virginia right now. They go to the bench. They bring in Terza Moore, and once again, the defense is there for K-State. Sundell for Sides. Sides in rhythm for three. Really felt like West Virginia was building some momentum, but Kansas State has got their mojo back, and they're on top by 12 now in the second. Quinterly cannot leave her open right now. J.J. Quinterly already with 15 points.
Well, to steal your line, she's a mojo killer because she is tough. She can create her shot at any moment, and she can also turn you over to create more offense for West Virginia. That's the bottom line for West Virginia. They're never out of a game because of their defense. We're still wondering, did the defense travel from Morgantown?
Taylor, there's the defense from Morgantown. Moore with the stop. Here's Shaw. They can't turn the turnover into points just yet. Quinterly to Shaw. Shaw will launch a three. No. Taylor's got the rebound.
And if you're wondering why West Virginia keeps getting these threes, they're faster than the K-State players. So they're giving them some cushion, and that's why they've been able to get some looks from the outside.
Sundell is going to get called for the travel. Turnover number 7 for K-State.
I mean, Sundell and Sides are like speaking with their eyes in transition, the little look. So Sundell dribble penetrates right at Sides defender. Sides loops right behind for that open three.
Sides from outside the arc, Christie, 2 for 3 against top 25 teams this season. 6 games played, 5 for 24. So facing a top 25 team in West Virginia, ranked 16th, off to a good start shooting-wise. Quinterly defended by Walker, all defensive team member in the Big 12. Amani Lester back in the game as Taylor heads to the bench. And there's Poindexter. You've talked about it with this Kansas State team. Their size is their length. That reach that these perimeter players have to get to passes and knock them out of play.
And that's why they can afford to close out a little bit short. I think they've closed out too short so far in this game.
Good job on the glass inside by Thomas with the putback. She's got 7.
And she's been really good for West Virginia. Something to watch. On the season, she's averaged 16 minutes a game. She's already up to 11 in this game.
Playing with a lot of confidence, coming off a very good game against Cincinnati, as we mentioned before. Sides. Harrison trying to slow down Sides, and she does. Traveling violation. And that will be another turnover for K-State. Serena Sundell coming back into the game for Sides.
Eric, we talk about the steals for West Virginia, but it is their movement on defense that's really impressive as well. Jordan Harrison a couple times has been late or has been chasing, and she's been able to cut K-State off instead of allowing them to get to the rim.
Inside of 2 minutes to play in the second quarter. Destiny Agobada on the floor, the freshman. Shot clock is now down to 7. Quinterly will launch another 3. Was halfway down, came out, and a rebound for Jalen Glenn. Kansas State with 3 straight turnovers, and 4 of their last 5 trips down the floor have resulted in turns. Sundell. Poindexter, and that's going to be a foul on Harrison, and that will be her 3rd personal foul. Big call right there as Harrison, the point guard, will head to the bench. We'll head to the studio at halftime. Madison Hawk, Rachel Gilligan will be joined by J.R. Payne. Galligan and Hawk and Payne, and J.R. probably still smiling ear to ear after that come from behind win yesterday.
She should be. Colorado has no quit in them right now.
Tiptoeing is Quinterly to keep it in play. 1 minute to go in the first half. And that's going to be a whistle against West Virginia. The illegal screen by Thomas. That's 2 on Thomas.
Thomas rolling. We caught the backside of that, but before that roll, she rolled right as the defender was clearing that screen. Can't do that.
So she'll go to the bench with the 2. Here's Sundell. Harrison on the bench for West Virginia with the 3 personals. Celia Riviere is on the floor now for West Virginia. Hot pass inside, whipped around to Poindexter. 10 on the shot clock. Sundell, beautiful cut, defined by Poindexter. 15 assists for K-State on 18 field goals. The crowd in purple on their feet. Final 30 seconds, shot clock off. Quinterly made the pass, and Sundell gets called for the foul. Thought she had her second block, but is whistled for the foul. That's her second.
Well, before Sundell was disappointed in that call, she made a great cut. She saw that the defender's feet went dead, and she cut hard, and then she rotates on the other end, and I agree with Serena on that one. I think it was all ball.
You may have heard a little reaction from the K-State fans all around you here because they showed it on the big screen here in the building. Let's just say they were
I thought they might be cheering for me or booing me.
No, that's not the case. So here's the junior from Paris at the free throw line. Sides is going to come into the game. Sundell is out there right now. I wonder if Sundell would come out for an offensive possession. 4.4 to go. Let's see what happens. Riviere makes it. So Sides, excellent three-point shooter, will come on. And
this is purely for the press breaker, trying to make sure they get the ball up the floor in a shot attempt.
yeah, Sundell will go off with the 2 fouls. Here's Sides, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, takes a peek, and there will be no shot. And Kansas State will dribble it out, and they will have an 8-point lead at halftime.
Again, I think we're in for a great second half because
Second half.
Absolutely, and I think another key to that is Jordan Harrison has to stay on the floor. She's got to avoid picking up that 4th foul.
First possession of the half belongs to K-State. Kennedy Taylor getting the start in the second half. No surprise there because she played so well in the first half. She keeps it going in the second half. 14 points for Taylor. She came off the bench in this game, but it was only less than a minute into the game where she came in, and she's been an impact player. Normally a starter with Lee out of the lineup. Here's Quinterly, had 15 first half points. Shaw challenged, but makes it. Sydney Shaw with 8, averaging better than 11 a game.
And Shaw known for her 3-point ball, but K-State's doing a good job of running her off the 3. Shaw's taking what they're giving them and knocking them down.
Serena Sundell had 4 points and 8 assists in the first half. 3-pointer, no good. Taylor will get the rebound. That's going to be a foul on Blackston. How about the assist numbers for K-State right now? 15 assists on 19 made field goals. That is K-State at its best. Taylor needing a moment here, and she's going to walk it off.
Well, this is a difficult matchup. We talked about the chess game of the head coaches in terms of how they were subbing the bigs in the first half. Jeff Meady just going aggressively saying, hey, Taylor's got my hot hand. She's doing it on both ends. I'm starting the half with her. But that's a matchup issue for Blackston if Taylor's down on the block.
Sundell finds Glenn. Walker, 6 on the shot clock, on the pull-up. Rebound for Watson. Quinterly 5 of 8 from the field, 2 for 4 outside the three-point line. Unbelievably quick, whether she's with the ball or without the ball. And she was fouled.
I've watched it enough to know it's believable. It's just exceptional how explosive she is. Her change of direction, her bounce off the dribble. And when I say bounce, I'm not talking about the ball. I'm talking about her body.
It'll be West Virginia ball on the baseline. Taylor just doesn't seem right. She's going to head out now, limping towards the bench. Maupin back into the game. Quinterly back to Shaw. Christie mentioned, 3-point shooter, not this time. And Sundell's got a rebound. Up ahead to Glenn. Glenn will bring it back out. Looked like they had Poindexter for a moment, but K-State will reset. Poindexter had a good first half, 9 points, 4 of 6 shooting.
And here's the back down because Sundell knew she had the size advantage.
Walker wide open for 3. Poindexter tries to track it down, and she gets back into play. K-State basketball, second chance opportunity here for the Wildcats. Walker on the drive. She'll head to the line to shoot 2.
And Eric, we've seen Zy Walker miss a couple of outside shots, and I'm noticing that there's an arm sleeve on that right elbow today that she didn't have yesterday. Remember, she got her arm tied up yesterday, and so I'm just wondering if that might be affecting the outside shot a little bit.
This is the play yesterday, Christie, right on cue. Yes, got tangled up against UCF.
It also shows you the value of Walker because she's going to play. She's going to play hard. She's going to defend. And she's not shying away from those shots. But I like the fact she missed her last couple. She put the ball on the floor, got to the free throw line.
Our producer, Caitlin Urka, director, Corey Huffman, they can read your mind at this point. They knew where you were going.
Quality family time.
Kudos to our crew. You know you've spent a lot of time with people when they're, sharing a brain with you on things like that. But that's what happened to Walker. You got a good look at it, and that sleeve on that right arm.
And you see where Taylor is bodying up to Thomas on the on-ball screens. That's what we call one deep. They're trying to go under those on-ball screens and cut the guards from their dribble penetration.
Clearly wondering where the foul was. Walker, best defender for this K-State team, all defensive team member, relishing that matchup against Quinterly right now. Taylor back into the game. Batted around as Poindexter tried to get after it and take it away. And here comes the speedy Quinterly. Has Watson trailing. Quinterly to the basket. She's got the quickness, but she's got that sneaky strength as well to fight it up there. First points of the second half for Quinterly.
And Eric, the way this game's going, you almost wonder how many points is Quinterly going to have to put up for West Virginia to get the win? Because right now, we're not seeing consistently from anyone else that they're going to knock down those shots.
Sundell picked up her dribble, needs help. And taken away. Sydney Shaw has it with Harrison, 2-on-1. Here come the Mountaineers.
And Harrison would be a prime candidate to pick up some of that scoring load.
Timeout called by K-State. West Virginia has outscored K-State by 3 to start the second. We mentioned the victory for West Virginia in Morgantown back in February. Last year's quarterfinal went down to the wire, won by K-State. Teoka Lee, 22 points, 11 rebounds in that game. Of course, no Lee here today, and it's been a running tracker here with and without Teoka Lee.
And that was updated from yesterday. And I think the biggest thing that I take from that is just the defensive presence that Lee brings to the floor. It's the rim protection, and it allows the other players around the perimeter to be a little bit more aggressive. And so I know as a basketball fan, I can't wait to see her back on the floor.
Sundell gobbled up, finds Taylor, who gets it to Walker, and Walker rattles it in for 2. Harrison playing with the 3 fouls, running the point for West Virginia to Quinterly. Shaw. Quinterly defended by Walker. Quinterly inside for 2 more. Well, you asked the question, how much does she have to score? She's gone for 30 or more in each of the last 2 games, and she's trending that way here in the quarterfinal round against K-State. 19 of the 44 West Virginia points. Walker, the floater, no. 5-point game. West Virginia down, but with the ball.
I'm wondering if K-State might think about just going box and one and trying to deny Quinterly the basketball.
Shaw, tough shot, no. Battle for the rebound, still fighting, and it's going to be a tie-up. Possession arrow will keep it with West Virginia.
I mean, Quinterly is putting defenders in the spin cycle right now. Walker, one of the best defenders in the league, is between her and the basket, moving her feet. It doesn't matter because of her explosiveness off of the hesitation. It's just so difficult to contain.
Well, Walker's going to go to the bench right now. Terrence Sides on the floor for K-State. And it's a turnover by West Virginia. Glenn kicks it over to Sides just into the game, but she stepped on the sidelines, and it's a turnover.
I also wonder if this sub for Walker has to do with the Mountaineers are starting to send a double to Taylor anytime she touches in the post. And so you want your outside shooters to be ready to catch and score to take advantage of it.
Well, with Walker on the bench, how do you defend Quinterly if you're K-State?
It's got to be team. And that's where I go back to, you almost want to try to deny her the ball.
But you also can't forget about players like Jordan Harrison, third-team selection in the Big 12 this year. The junior comes up with the basket, and West Virginia now within 3. Sundell, Watson, excellent defender all over her. Sundell, pretty turnaround for 2. First points of the second half for the senior from Maryville, Missouri, about 90 minutes north of here. Back to a 5-point advantage.
Going under the on-ball screen again.
Harrison takes advantage and buries a 3. Two-point game. Sides for Sundell, who traveled.
And Quinterly will get no credit for that, but she jumped into that lane and took that away. One around Gappy, as this is Gappy 2.0.
The gap go Gappy. 3 straight defensive stops for K-State. They wave the Gappy go. That means you got a gap celebration going on.
And if they get 7, Gappy wears the gold chain.
Ooh,
right
there's
now,
a stop
they need
right
some
there.
Gappy.
But West Virginia not done. After the block, here's Quinterly. Quinterly right at Sundell, too strong, and Sides has the rebound. K-State has turned it over on 4 of their last 7 possessions, and West Virginia with just 1 turnover this quarter, one of those key areas that we're keeping an eye on. Taylor backs in, goes lefty for 2.
And normally say when K-State needs a bucket, they're looking at someone like Sides or Sundell, but in this game, they realize the hot hand and the favorable matchup is Kennedy, and they are feeding her the ball.
Quinterly lost the handle as she tried perhaps to go behind the back, and Taylor gets on the floor. Jump ball possession will give it to K-State.
Kennedy Taylor just gets the low position, realizes that she's one-on-one, so she just backs the defender down, and knowing where she is on the court, uses that great touch around the rim.
Taylor will head to the bench. She's got 16 points. Her season high came against Baylor when she went for a correction. Her Big 12 high is 16 against Baylor, so she's matched her high against the Big 12 opponent. 18 is her season high. Sundell defended by Watson. Inside of 3 to go in the third. Sundell, 6'2", got that size. Tried to get it to Lester, but threw it off the backboard, and it will be, well, they're saying it was tipped. Sundell, Jeff Mitty, both right there, and now they're going to make the correction as Anthony Robinson, one of the officials, came over to make the correction, so it'll be K-State possession.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I've got to say that with Serena Sundell went baseline, I thought she had the shot, and she hesitated.
Here's Sides, defended by Harrison. Harrison, great D, playing with the 3 personal fouls. Poindexter was out of bounds, and it'll be West Virginia basketball.
Eric, as much as we're going to talk about the turnovers that West Virginia has forced, their half-court defense, when they've just gotten down and defended, they have forced, especially since that first quarter, K-State into some bad shots. And K-State going to the 2-3 matchup zone now.
Shaw sees a zone and her eyes get wide. Elite three-point shooter knocks it down. She's got 11 points and it's now a 1-point game. Into the hands of Sundell. Watson, excellent defensive player, matched up with Sundell. Great matchup here of two Big 12 stalwarts. Sundell with the attempted pass to Lester, and it was Thomas there with the foul.
And Eric, that spin is an example of where the 6'2" point guard has an advantage over most defenders. She saw it coming and was able to draw that foul.
West Virginia down by 1. It was an 8-point game at halftime, and there's good defense once again by the Mountaineers in the half courts. They get the stop. Here's Shaw stepping into another three. Won't drop down, and it was last touch by K-State. That was Jordan Thomas mixing things up for West Virginia.
Quinlan's got to tie the shoelace. That's why we've got to stop at your play right now.
The way she moves and cuts, you have to make sure that is a very tight knot so the shoe does not slip off.
I would say Velcro, but she's so fast the Velcro would fly off.
That's not enough.
One way to take advantage of the 6-footers on the floor is to get your hands up. A lot of players with their hands down right now for K-State.
Shot clock down to 4. Harrison has to make something happen here. Throws it up, no. Batted out and controlled by West Virginia. Thrown into the corner, Harrison. She'll go on the drive, off the window for 2, and West Virginia has their first lead since it was 5-4 in the early going. Poindexter, and a foul's going to be called on the Mountaineers, Sydney Shaw.
Eric, the last bucket for West Virginia came off their third shot opportunity because they were so aggressive on the glass. Great job of Jordan Harrison using the glass on that baseline drive.
Harrison into double figures now with 11. Taylor back on the floor for K-State. Taylor, final minute of the third quarter. Sundell uses the Taylor screen, cutting to the basket is Walker. Couldn't get it. Taylor fighting for it and won the battle. It'll be K-State basketball.
8 seconds to go on the shot clock here for for K-State.
Taylor's got it. Trying to back it in with 4 on the shot clock. Beautiful move, goes to the left hand again for 2 more. Kennedy Taylor has matched her season high. She's got 18 points, a perfect 8 for 8 from the floor. West Virginia will hold for 1. Shot clock and game clock just about synced up. Harrison with a burst to the basket was fouled by Walker. That's her second.
Well, if you need a bucket in your K-State, find Kennedy Taylor today. And as great as she's been just making the ball go through the hole, Eric, that was fabulous footwork by the post player for K-State.
Harrison at the free throw line, 84% on the season. That's good for 5th in the Big 12. Remember, she had 3 first-half fouls, picked up that 3rd foul late in the first half. But she hasn't picked up another foul. She's been an offensive spark, 10 second-half points. Make it 11.
Well,
5 seconds to go before the end of the quarter.
Sorry, throughout this season, when West Virginia's been at their best, it's been the Jordan Harrison and J.J. Quinterly show. So not surprised at all Harrison's picked it up.
This could be a turnover. Oh, Glenn with a headsy play to bat it forward. Poindexter to beat the buzzer. Banks it in, and that's how the third quarter will come to a close. Plays hard, 40 minutes. They are built for a full 40-minute game. They have to feel pretty good that it's a 2-point game as we head to the fourth, as you look at some of the key numbers through 3.
Well, credit West Virginia that they've adapted the defense, because usually, yes, it is the full court pressure. It's turning people over more in the full court. They've adjusted. It's been their half-court defense that's been really good here this second half in terms of disrupting.
J.J. Quinterly Christie now with 21 points, and we're tied at 58.
I'm feeling confident she's going to get another 30-piece. If I'm K-State, I am looking into Kennedy Taylor.
Quinterly got a hand on that. There is Taylor. 8 for 8 from the field, 18 points.
Pass fakes would be very beneficial for K-State as well right now if they're trying to get the ball inside.
3 on the shot clock. Walker has to shoot. Chance for West Virginia to go back in front. Remember, they took a 54-53 lead after trailing throughout much of the first half and into the third quarter. Trying to get the lead back here this trip with Harrison. Harrison had 11 third quarter points. Harrison will launch a deep 3, perhaps a little too deep. Shot clock was down to 3, and it'll be K-State basketball.
Eric, Kennedy Taylor jumped out off that on-ball screen to take away any kind of guard shot. There was a switch. She stayed there. That's why Harrison had to shoot that 3 on the other side.
So we're here praising her for her offense and talking about being 8 for 8 from the field, but you're saying do not sleep on her defense right now.
I'm just saying it's the coach in me. You got to play both ends of the floor.
Quinterly's going to get called for the foul, running over Sundell. That'll be her second.
I mean, Serena Sundell is she's just graceful. Well, okay, maybe not the true fall, but the roll afterwards was graceful. Credit West Virginia. They're beating K-State to the spots on a lot of these set plays.
Sundell trying to back in Watson. Watson not having any of it. Almost went down. Sundell will go to the line. So Sundell will go to the free throw line. 79% free throw shooter. 21 against UCF yesterday. 7 so far today. Tomorrow's lineup, college basketball, features 2 Sonic blockbusters as the men close out their conference seasons. 2:30 Eastern time, Bama and Auburn meet again. We remember what happened in Tuscaloosa. Auburn got that victory the first time around. Arizona and Kansas, and Duke and North Carolina. Men's college hoop all day tomorrow on ESPN. Back to a 2-point lead for K-State.
Little rub screen here for Quinterly.
Quinterly gets around Taylor, just wouldn't drop. Batted by Sundell, but controlled here by Watson. Harrison steps back and launches a 3 and buries it. Jordan Harrison knocks down a 3. 16 now for the junior. West Virginia back in front. Taylor up top, trying to return it to sides. Hand off to Poindexter. Glenn defended by Quinterly. Sundell on the drive. And she's going to get called for a travel. Slammed on the brakes as she approached Jordan Thomas and got called for the travel.
I thought that was a good call. I thought she shuffled her feet, and K-State was hanging on to and did get back in transition defense.
Yeah, I think Sundell was in the backcourt disputing the call, and Jeff Mitty was telling her to get moving here. Jeff Mitty's still got a quick first step.
That would be I would say that's explosive. It's not JJ
Explosive personality or first step, or both?
You said it.
Oh, great catch. And the fake, and the finish, and the foul. Jordan Harrison, a chance for a three-point play.
Eric, I came into the second half saying, who's going to be the complimentary scorer to J.J. Quinterly? And Harrison has said, I got this. She knows the rotation is coming by the big jump stops, head fakes, lets them all fly by. Now with a chance for the and one.
Taylor got called for the foul, clipping Harrison's leg on the way by. And Harrison with 19 now. And it's a 4-point lead for West Virginia. It's their largest lead of the game, and one of those cases where the offense is now getting that West Virginia defense fired up a little bit.
Well, Country Roads is traveling right now, and I think West Virginia's got a case there. It looked like that was off of Sundell.
Sundell heads to the bench.
I gotta tell you, Eric, as a former point guard, I would not want Jordan Harrison defending me when I'm trying to bring the ball up the floor. She's low to the ground, quick hands.
Here's Walker. Walker from the free throw line, trying to find her shot. Poindexter was fouled by Watson. That's gonna be 4 on Watson. She takes a look at the bench, and Mark Kellogg will bring in Terza Moore for Watson with the 4.
Well, Watson has done a great job defensively, and as soon as Watson leaves the game, Jeff Meady getting Sundell back on the court.
Been that Watson-Sundell matchup that we've been watching. But right now, Watson has to watch from the bench. Poindexter turns and shoots. K-State struggling to find the range here in this quarter. They are 0 for 3 from the field. Jordan Harrison had 2 points and 3 fouls in the first half. She now has 19 points to lead this West Virginia comeback. Tipped out, Harrison takes a peek at the clock. 5 on the shot clock. Harrison left open. Front iron, no good. 6 minutes to go in the fourth. Quarterfinal number 1 here in Kansas City. The winner to take on the winner of TCU and Colorado tomorrow. Walker. Lester tapped it, but West Virginia has it.
And Eric, you're seeing West Virginia bring a double anytime Sundell's trying to back her opponent down for the post up.
Walker now 3 of 11 from the field. Good point before about that extension of the elbow in the game yesterday. It looks like it's impacting what she's able to do offensively. Shaw. 5 on the shot clock. It's Quinterly. Quinterly with 2. Quinterly with 1. And a foul's going to be called on West Virginia.
Illegal screen there on, I think it was Moore. Yeah. Shot clock's getting skinny, and Moore's coming up to set that screen. Gets called for the illegal.
Wildcats have missed their last 4 field goal attempts. Not much happening this trip so far for K-State. 7 on the shot clock. Poindexter to Lester to Walker, who's been called. She's gonna have to shoot again. That one was deflected and maybe just came up short. They say nobody touched it. It'll be West Virginia ball when we come back. It's a
4 to J.J. Quinterly. And Jordan Harrison has answered me in spades. She was 1 of 5 in the first half, only 2 points. A whopping 6 of 10 here in the second for 17 to total up to 19. She's done it off the bounce. She's done it with the pull-up. Great decision-making by the undersized point guard for the Mountaineers.
Harrison came in averaging better than 13 points a game. She's up to 19, 17 coming in the second half. 7 of 15 shooting, including 2 3-pointers. Quinterly still leading the team in scoring with 21. So you add those two together, that's 40 of the 64. But Harrison has been the spark plug. And really, it's been that signature defense for West Virginia that's changed things in this game. K-State 0 for their last 4 from the field, 0 for 5 over the last 5 from the field, all in this fourth quarter. Out of the media timeout, here is West Virginia with possession. Quinterly launches for 3, can't get it. Offensive rebound for Jordan Thomas, who was fouled. Sides picks up her second.
And I'm wondering how long Jeff Mitty's going to sit Taylor before bringing her back in this game.
How long would you sit her?
I think right now the 4-point deficit against this defense, I'd get her back.
Taylor on the bench right now, waiting for the moment. Rocking back and forth with some of that nervous energy, hoping to get her moment now because West Virginia is now up by 6.
You say rocking back and forth. I think it's to make sure the coaching staff knows that she's ready to get in.
Whatever works.
Yes.
Sundell once again has Shaw this time on her defensively. Remember, Watson on the bench with the 4 personal fouls, so Sundell takes advantage.
And interesting, Thomas didn't even try to come to help that time. If I'm Poindexter, I sit in the paint right now defensively and try to clog it up and give help.
Quinterly almost got it to go. The foul is called on Jalen Glenn.
Well, Serena Sundell getting the entry pass and then just backing Shaw down. And that's what I was talking about. Thomas is right under head in the basket. The freshman post player for West Virginia doesn't come to help whatsoever. Leaves Sundell one-on-one.
You can see who's back into the game next to Sundell. It is Watson with the 4 fouls back on the floor. Quinterly at the line, 83%, 7th in the Big 12. West Virginia as a team, very good free throw shooting squad, 3rd in the Big 12 at 75%. 1 of 2 for Quinterly, and she gets called for the foul as she ran in to Jalen Glenn. Or was it Poindexter? Yeah, Poindexter got knocked down. So that's a 5th team foul on West Virginia. Comes with 3:54 to go in the fourth quarter, so free throws the rest of the way here for K-State. 72% as a team. Poindexter is the one who got hit. 74% individually from the line this season.
When I think when you're struggling to score from the field, if you're the opposing defense, the last thing you want to do is put them on the free throw line.
Not a lot of attempts for K-State so far today. They're now 5 of 7. West Virginia is 14 of 18 from the line. 1 of 2 for Poindexter. She's got 13. Taylor has 18 to lead K-State. Taylor still on the bench inside of 4 minutes to go here in the fourth. Quinterly trying to blow by Glenn. Sundell on the switch. Quinterly, tough shot, good defense by Sundell. Good fight again by Jordan Thomas, but couldn't control it. It will be K-State basketball.
Well, does K-State try to go back to Sundell on the low block and let her back it down now that Watson's back in the game?
With 4 fouls, so how would Watson have to change her game? They get Poindexter for 3. Circled all the way around, launched the 3 from the right wing, and it's a 1-point game. Harrison giving up some size to Sundell. Harrison, and a 3-second violation being called on West Virginia, so a turnover on the Mountaineers.
Well, Eric, that defensive stand was fueled by the offense of K-State. You see Poindexter running off the baseline screens, the double staggered. Poindexter gets those feet set and knocks down the huge 3. And Kennedy Taylor, the biggest cheerleader.
Sundell set the screen. Timeout called with 3:05 to go in the fourth.
So we're in our curry. Who do we want to have the ball? 11. All right, 11. We want sides to the ball. Worker, be active on the post touch and the Sundell Barkley. Love it out and go. Back jersey. Go get it. All right, ready, go.
Let's reset it with 3:05 to go in the fourth. 1-point game. Plenty of timeouts remaining. Kansas State with 1 foul to give. K-State already in the bonus, shooting free throws the rest of the way.
And Eric, bigger picture, Charlie Creamer, bracketologist, has both these teams in the field. Currently, K-State set to host with a 4 seed. Can they hang on to that opportunity? And West Virginia, Charlie currently has them as a 6 seed.
Here is Lester out of the timeout, hands it off to Sides. Sides returns to Lester. Lester trying to make a move, and West Virginia took it away. Turnover number 14 for K-State. West Virginia will slow things down, up by 1. Approaching 2.5 to go. Will it be Harrison? Will it be Quinterly? Will it be a turnover? Yes, K-State takes over. Taylor coming back in now for K-State.
And you almost feel like there was been some offense defense, because as soon as they got the ball back, Taylor was sprinting to the table.
So she had an extended rest. She should be ready to go, and she's had a great game. 18 points, 8 of 8 from the field. Sides across half court, off to Sundell. Entry pass to Taylor. They waste no time. And a foul is going to be called on Jordan Thomas. Again, West Virginia over the limit. So Taylor going to the free throw line, and she is a very good free throw shooter at 76%.
I was going to be really disappointed if Taylor did not get a touch on that series. Reward the young lady. She's been fabulous today for K-State.
Thomas has been good for West Virginia. That's her 4th personal foul. And here is Taylor, senior from Shawnee Mission, Kansas. So local kid who played at Missouri State the last 2 seasons. Playing here in Kansas City with K-State. 1 of 2, Poindexter. Got a hand in there, and it's last touch by Thomas. K-State basketball.
Eric, you hear me say it all the time. The most important aspect of a free throw is to make sure you're boxing out if you're on defense.
Taylor's got it quickly here for K-State, trying to get it back to Sundell as we approach 2 minutes to go in the 4th. Shot clock at 7. Sundell and Watson, they meet again. Sundell with the pass to Taylor. .21 for Kennedy Taylor. 2-point lead. K-State inside of 2 minutes to go in the 4th. Six on the shot clock for Quinterly. Quinterly launches a 3. No. Another rebound and 1. Jordan Thomas continues to get it done for West Virginia. A chance to put the Mountaineers back in front.
Where first for K-State. You see Jordan Thomas get caught watching Sundell on the post-up. That's why she was Kennedy Taylor was open on the other side. Well, she makes up of it for it on the offensive end. Gets the miss, gets the rebound, gets the bucket to go.
Thomas can't finish the 3-point play. 11 points for the freshman, averaging 6 a game. She also has 6 rebounds. And a timeout called by Kansas State with 1:15 to go in the 4th, tied at 69. Even at 69, 1 timeout remaining for Kansas State. Possession arrow also with the Wildcats. Both teams are in the bonus.
First and foremost for K-State, get the ball inbounded cleanly. And the best way to do that is to step to the inbound pass as it's coming to you. And then I gotta believe it's gonna be some kind of 2-man action right now. Sundell with Taylor. But I think as long as Thomas is guarding her down low, I'd give Taylor an opportunity to get a shot.
Taylor 9 for 9 from the field. Sundell will get it to Taylor. Off for Sides. Trying to post up Sundell. Again, Watson there defensively. Finds Glenn, open for 3. No good. Quinterly skies for the rebound. And what's the call? Jump ball. Possession arrow, as we said, belongs to K-State.
Eric, I don't know how Quinterly, because she was challenging Sundell for the initial rebound. She was jumping, how she went and got that deflection and got the ball.
I know how. It's J.J. Quinterly.
Very good. Super J.J.
She can do a lot. And she can get a turnover. Quinterly with the steal. K-State with a costly turnover. And we're in the final minute and a timeout called by West Virginia.
Well, K-State was going for the quick two, going all the way across the court to Taylor. Quinterly came from the top of the key off her player because she read it correctly, gets the interception, going the other way for West Virginia.
We talked about the turnovers and points off turnovers, and in the first half, K-State had 19 points off of West Virginia turnovers, and West Virginia only had 4. Now in the second half, 1 point off West Virginia turnovers for K-State and 9 points off turnovers for West Virginia. It's helped flip this game, and now a costly turnover for K-State, possession for West Virginia. Harrison's been good, Quinterly's been good, Thomas has been good on the glass. Where do you go to for the Mountaineers?
Well, first of all, I put Thomas on the weak side. Get her defender away, puts her in position to rebound. I would give Harrison, based on the matchup right now with sides on her, I'd give Harrison the ball and let her go to work.
Harrison back to Quinterly, defended by sides. Quinterly, the floater is good. West Virginia's in front. Timeout, Kansas State. Actually, they're going to go to the monitor here. Going to think just to make sure of the time.
Well, Eric, they got the switch.
Play is under review for a clock error.
Now the clock continued to run, but Jeff Mitty doesn't love this stoppage. You like it because you can get a free timeout here, but it also gives West Virginia a chance to get organized with their trademark pressure.
Exactly, and again, for West Virginia, they got the switch, they got the matchup, they got the ball to J.J. Quinterly to let her go to work. But now, obviously, Jeff Mitty does have the option to call timeout, to advance the ball.
So it's going to take them a moment here because you saw the clock continue to run, so we can talk a little strategy. Do you take the timeout because you have to use the timeout here to advance it? Remember, you're down to 1 timeout remaining in a very tight game.
44.2 in the clock.
So
Honestly,
8/10.
I would advance it because the last thing you want to do is have a miscue in the backcourt. If there was any more time, I would say you're trying to go quick to make sure that you would try to get the ball back.
Now the question I have is, has Kansas State officially taken a timeout? I don't believe they did. They're still trying to work out the timing here.
I think they're trying to ask Jeff. And
Yeah, there's no timeout was taken by K-State, so they're going to inbound it on the baseline.
well, Eric, better move by Jeff Mitty because they were trying to ask him. He just refused to answer them. He just kept drawing the play up.
You mean head coaches have selective hearing?
I thought it was just men.
Well, now West Virginia, they think, I believe that there's a little confusion here as to whether or not K-State took a timeout because they went to the midcourt thinking it was going to be inbound to the front court, but now they have to set up and say, wait a minute, it's a timeout wasn't taken. I think there's still some confusion here, and West Virginia wasn't prepared for K-State to inbound on the baseline, so K-State keeps a timeout, Christy.
And I'm going to correct you. I think West Virginia's always ready to play defense, and we're just going to see it right now in the half court because this is where they've excelled today.
Well, Poindexter gets a wide open 3, and it's off the mark, and a rebound pulled down by West Virginia. And a jump ball, possession arrow will give it to the Mountaineers.
Now I expect West Virginia to call timeout to advance it.
They will take the timeout. Be a 30-second timeout here for West Virginia, so a quick huddle, and they will advance it in to the front court. So that leaves 1 timeout for West Virginia, 1 timeout for K-State.
And so, Eric, K-State has to foul and put them at the free throw line. Their best option, if Watson is near it, foul Watson. She's the weaker free throw shooter on the floor right now at 59%, or if Thomas stays on the floor.
Small thing here, but it could be big with 25 to go. Right now, it's showing possession arrow West Virginia. That's this held ball. Once it's put into play,
Correct.
It will flip over to Kansas State. And K-State will not advance, or will they advance it?
No,
Wait a second. Yeah,
it's West Virginia advancing
West Virginia, rather, yes.
And I'll say this, if you can try to get a 5 count, you want the 5 count. West Virginia is spreading their players out because they know they have the speed advantage.
Now, this is an interesting setup here. You can see with Thomas right at midcourt, and to the left of Thomas, you're right, is Harrison, the point guard. And they find Quinterly. Who else but Quinterly, still dribbling. No foul yet. You can't catch Quinterly, and they don't want to foul her. And they haven't yet, and a timeout being called by West Virginia.
This will be a full timeout.
So right now the lead belongs to West Virginia, and J.J. Quinterly put them in front here late.
Well, when she is hot from 3, this team excels. But she's been spectacular in all facets, all 3 levels. She's been able to get to the rim. The pull-up jumper has been on point. She knocked down the 3. Her defense, we cannot forget the interception when K-State was looking for that quick score just a moment ago.
Quinterly got the bucket with 45 seconds to go to put West Virginia on top, 71-69. So it's West Virginia possession. Kansas State with the possession arrow. 17.3 to go. Now, here's the situation for K-State. They have a timeout. So what happens here after a basket, make or miss, they can take a timeout and advance it. West Virginia out of timeouts.
Well, again, shot clock is off, so K-State needs to go for a steal. You saw how West Virginia spread the floor because they have the speed advantage and they can run back to get that inbounds pass. But K-State can't let this much time go off the clock again.
No.
As soon as that ball is inbounded, they need to go for a steal first and foremost, but then you must foul. I would almost try to face guard J.J. Quinterly Hill, and it looks like we're going to have a similar alignment again.
It's like a quarterback and 4 wide receivers set up for the Mountaineers. And the quarterback is Kyle Watson. And Watson gets it to Harrison. Great free throw shooter. K-State has not fouled her. Thrown up to Shaw, and finally Sides gives the foul, and Shaw will go to the free throw line. 87% free throw shooter is Sydney Shaw.
And so Shaw makes 2 possession games. Going to be really tough for K-State. But I'll say this point again, you must box out. If you're K-State, you have to assume a miss. If you're West Virginia, stay flat-footed. You do not want a lane violation here.
Shaw is 3 for 3 from the line tonight. Still a 1-possession game, but here's the big free throw for the junior from Miami. Clutch. Sydney Shaw, timeout taken by Kansas State. Now a 2-possession game, 11.4 to go, and Kansas State uses their final timeout to advance it into the front court.
So for K-State, I mean, they just showed their lob play a moment ago. They got intercepted, but I would do something leading the score to the rim because you want a quick score. Clock stops on a score. Then you're looking for the quick foul, and you're just trying to extend the game from here. Both teams out of timeouts.
3 ties, 3 lead changes here in the 4th quarter. It was a 2-point lead after 3 after the Poindexter banked 3-pointer for Kansas State. Well, West Virginia has outscored Kansas State 17-11 here in the 4th period.
And in true fashion, it's been the 2 veteran guards for West Virginia that's just elevated this team. So much J.J. Quinterly in the first half, but then Jordan Harrison has taken over here in the second half.
And those 2, Christie, are combined 16 of 33 from the field. The winner of this game will take on the winner of TCU and Colorado tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 Eastern Time. TCU, the regular season champions, set to take on a Colorado team that has already won twice in as many days. Later on today, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech will close things out. Baylor and Iowa State will open up the night session here at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. All right, take us through it again. Quick 2 here, or are you looking for
Quick 2. quick too. You don't want to waste time trying to get 3. Obviously, if you get a quick one, you're taking it, but otherwise, quick score. Too much time.
West Virginia dialing up the defense. Sundell looking for a pass here. 4 seconds, 3. Glenn, that's going to come up short. And the West Virginia Mountaineers come from behind, and they will advance to the semifinals tomorrow here in Kansas City.